FFS. Hi guys, it's been a long time since I did one of these videos, but we are back. And we've done various videos over the years, but there's no other way of saying this. This is going to be our biggest one yet, our biggest trip. We are off on an epic 3,000 mile trip around Europe. I'm not going to give too much away, but we're going to be looking for some of the best roads you will have seen on all your favourite TV shows and YouTubers, Top Gear, Grand Tour, Harry's Garage, Chris Harris. We're going to take inspiration from all of those and do our own version of this epic journey around Europe.
So of course that means we had to start at the beginning. So we set off from South Wales, Thomas and myself, and headed down towards Portsmouth, ready to get the ferry overnight. Whereas Damon and Keris were setting off from home in Stoke, and were going to meet us down there as there was no obvious meeting place along the way.
So let us just go into the right menu. So we're going to change reset of that. We are going to go into audio 1 and reset that. We'll use that for the total mileage, and we use B for the mileage for each part of the journey. So let's see how we get on. It's just time to make my favourite noise of the day. See you in a bit.
So here we are at Mega Services, and just waiting for Tom to arrive. Damon and Keris coming from Stoke, we're coming from South Wales, so we're going to just meet not far from the ferry port, get a bit of food, and then head on the ferry. So yeah, it's very busy here on a Friday afternoon, as you can imagine. So once Thomas gets here, we'll hit the road. Why is it no matter what we do, no matter where we're going, we always end up in the friggin' slow lane of any kind of queue?
Good evening. We are now in the ferry port of Portsmouth and queuing up to get on. So as you can see, it's just cars everywhere, all queuing up for the boats. It's nice and dark now. So overnight ferry into Caen. So yeah, I'm sure we'll have a nice pint when we get on board now, and a bit of a chuckle or two before we try and get some sleep. Ready for a big old day tomorrow.
Has it got a little light on? That means you're famous. Cheers.
Check us out with all the tech.
You know, yeah, right? I just gotta make sure I look around at everybody all the time.
Because all I've done is turned it on, put it on forward, and walked around.
Yeah, we might need a bit more than that when we're up in the Alps.
Obviously, it'd be good to control it, get some shots and stuff. 485 miles to do. So here we are. It is effectively 5 a.m. It's 6 a.m. because we're in France, so it's 5 a.m. our time. We've had about 3 hours kept on the boat. Thank you to Tom for booking the cabin, because without that we would have been properly wrecked. After making our way off the boat, we just had a small matter of a massive journey across the entirety of France. It was very early in the morning and we had very little sleep, but we had to make our way all the way from Caen in the northwest of France, all the way over 485 miles to Grenoble to start the next part of our journey.
Honestly, this rain is appalling. It's not what we ordered. So there's hoping for a bit of better weather as we get further into France, but we are only sort of 25 minutes into the first leg of our big journey today down to Grenoble. So Yeah, but as you can probably see outside, the weather does not look great. So there's hoping for better. An hour and a half into the drive and it's still absolutely tipping it down. Aquaplaning all over the place, like biblical rain. It's rained for like 4 weeks straight in South Wales. I was like, yes, I'm going to France, it's going to be sunny. Check the weather, great. Got here, absolutely dreadful.
Sorry, what was that? The walkie pointed at my crotch.
I'm happy to oblige your testicles, but I was asking how your tyres are in this weather.
All for me.
We encountered a few helpful spots of sunshine along the way, which were very welcome, and then spent our time playing around with the Bip and Go system, which meant we didn't have to stop at the toll booths, we could just carry on through as long as we were doing under 30 kilometers an hour. We found this highly entertaining, but eventually we needed to entertain ourselves another way.
So part 2. Travelled a bit of distance, can't tell you miles because it's in kilometres, but left yesterday, met Mike at Magor. Hang on a sec. Woo!
Sorry, was that yes?
We.
Not already, we just stopped for one.
Don't act surprised.
Yeah, we're all old men these days. Okay, I have a question then. So obviously this has been inspired by Top Gear and all of that type of stuff. And there's 3 of us obviously driving the cars. So if you were to say who is who, as in who's Richard Hammond, who's James May, and who's Jeremy Clarkson, out of the 3 of us?
Funnily enough, I was having this exact thought earlier, and I think I've worked it out.
Go on.
So, I'll start with you, Dave. So, bear with me on this. You're Hammond, but obviously not in height. Bit wild, a bit crazy. Then, Bullen is our illustrious leader, so Bull's Clarkson. And I'll take the mantle as May.
Well, I kind of agree. I mean, in that Hammond likes to fix cars and do cars up, which you're good at, Dave. Tom likes a stock car and he drives it in a conservative manner and doesn't particularly enjoy the actual track itself. So that puts him firmly in the May section. And I'm kind of just loud and obnoxious, which pretty much makes me Clarkson, I guess.
I thought of this question a few hours ago and I was thinking about it and I came to exactly the same conclusion.
There we are. I think we've known each other too long now if we're all coming up with the same answers.
Yeah, we all seem to know our place as well. Any of you boys got any interesting questions?
Only, why indeed does Ludicrous have so many hoes in so many different area codes? Or did you mean about cars? If you were doing this trip in any other car that we can afford to buy, so not an LFA, what car would that be? Not the ones you're driving.
The second you said that question, I just was LFA. But since it's what we can afford,
What's the one biggest annoying thing with your car, your current car?
The automatic part of the automatic gearbox is slow and lazy and stupid.
characterful, I prefer to think of it as.
Contemplative at best.
It's just so long as you don't want to do any normal driving whatsoever, it's perfectly fine. So I'm not gonna. The obvious choice would be to pick a fault, but I don't think that's the question. So I'm gonna say, bit trivial. I wish my seat went down lower.
Honestly, on drives like this, the one thing I do really miss is cruise control. My fucking heel is killing me.
At that point, it was time to stop for a spot of lunch and take a little break in a French service station after I'd led us through Paris into what was just a normal petrol station by mistake, and then enjoy some more of the wonderful French motorway weather we were receiving.
So, you know, somehow the French have built a road out of the same stuff that we've built the M25 out of, but yet this road doesn't rattle the fillings out of your teeth. How? Look! Blue sky! Blue! Awesome. Just what we've been waiting for.
Finally, sunshine, lollipops and rainbows. Absolutely brilliant. So here we are. Look, I'm wearing my new custom t-shirt, which I'm really pleased with. It's got a trip logo on it and everything, and it's got the map of the trip that we're doing on my back. Yes, we're just having a one last break now before we get down to Grenoble for the night, and get a bit of food, hopefully get a good night's sleep, because I didn't sleep particularly well on Thursday, and then last night I had about 2.5 hours on the boat itself. So yeah, the hope is that we get a decent night's sleep tonight in the hotel, and then we start the proper part of our trip and our journey. So look forward to sharing with you tomorrow what that looks like. Unfortunately, as all car guys will know, it's impossible not to stop and stand around talking absolute nonsense for hours on end, meaning that you never get to where you're trying to get to on time. But we got back on the motorway and headed towards our destination for the night of Grenoble. The scenery as we approached Grenoble was absolutely astonishing. The mountain range was absolutely perfect. Such good views, and really kept us entertained and oohing and ahhing as we drove along, as all these mountains came into view. Then we arrived at our overnight stop.
Wow. Ibis budget, and that's the view.
After enjoying a nice meal and some fantastic shots, we got a good night's sleep ready for day 3 of our trip. So in the morning we will be driving along the first half of Route Napoleon, joining from Grenoble to Namur and then down towards Sisteron. Good morning. We've just had a beautiful breakfast here. I mean, it was croissants and pain au chocolat because when in Rome, as they say, or France. So we are heading on the first part of our proper part of the epic journey. Hi Tom. Hi guys. Today, this is the first part of like the proper part of the journey. So we've had to endure 500 miles of France basically to get to the starting point, and obviously a couple of 100 miles of the UK as well. But this is it now. This is the starting point. So we are in Grenoble, which obviously many of you probably will know is basically the sort of setting off point for Route Napoleon. After telling myself to shut up so we could get on with our day, we got on the road and started cracking. Earlier parts of Route Nap were great. They had lots of long sweeping corners, you could get a bit of speed on, put your foot down a little bit. They had some tight hairpins and stuff as well. It was a really fun morning as we got used to what was a brand new road for us. myself to a little bit of normal mode on the engine. Now we're in the sexy part of the drive for the first time. I might even treat myself to a little bit of Sports Plus later, who knows. Ooh. As the day wore on, we were aware we still had the whole second half of the drive to do from Digne all the way down into Cannes before we went up the coast to Nice. So we're about halfway through Route Napoleon now. It's been epic so far, some of the best roads in the world. I mean, everyone knows that, that's why we've come to do it. So absolutely epic, really, really good stuff. Yeah, so still a little bit of the journey to go, and then we'll head down in towards Cannes and then towards Nice for our overnight stop before we start the next part of this wonderful trip and journey. And here are just a few highlights of our favourite parts of Route Napoleon.
Holy fuck, that's a view.
As well as travelling through some beautiful small villages on our travels through Route Nap, we also saw the famous stone archway and enjoyed all of the sights and sounds that Route Nap had to offer to our wonderful cars as we made our way across.